What's going on, everybody? We're here. We're live.
Good morning.
And I got my buddy, Mike Carson, with me today. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing excellent.
Yeah,
It's too
man.
early for shit to hit the fan.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's still, it's
I'm doing
still
great.
early. So we don't know what tragedy and destruction awaits us, but we're pumped up now. We're ready.
You know
We're
what?
ready to go into it head
Welcome in.
first.
Bring it on.
I was I was talking to Mike in the pre-roll. Yesterday was the first day in the history of my company where we woke up to zero calls from the night before. Like typically when we wake up when my secretary wakes up, she has 10 to 15 calls in the voicemail, and that's how she starts her day. She said yesterday was the first day ever since she's worked for us that she woke up and there was zero calls. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, a little bit of panic set in, a little bit of worry set in. But me and the team worked through it. We're good. It's gonna be fine. We know if you do an appliance repair, you know the floodgates are about to open. You know that summer's coming, and those down fridges and those sealed system calls and them broken LGs are right around the corner. So that kind of leads us into the topic for today. We're going to pray and all that stuff, but we're talking about cutting costs in your bit service business. I don't claim to be the expert on this, but it's something that I'm definitely interested in. I'm sure Mike's got some good tips from his standpoint of the industry. But one thing I do want to mention before we get into it is we're streaming now to my old YouTube page, The Appliance Guy. Some of you guys maybe used to subscribe there. Maybe you're still subscribed there. But we want those people to also have an opportunity to become part of this Service Alliance community. Not everybody's on Facebook. Not everybody's on the different media platforms. So we figured we'd bring those people in. A lot of good people that used to follow me when I was posting videos over there. So welcome, Appliance Guy page. We thank you guys for joining us. If you decide to join us every morning, we're here Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We do a little prayer, we do a little Bible, and we do a little business. And thank you for joining us. Mike, you want to pray us up, buddy?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you wanted to pray or if you wanted me to. All right, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Your Heavenly Father, thank you for your grace, your unwillingness to change, your steadfast love for us, Lord. Be with us as we go about our day. Help us to be kind to others. Help us to keep your commandments in our heart, and allow us to speak to others in the manner that you would speak to us, Lord. It's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you.
So what's the verse today?
Let me pull that up real quick
What do you got for us?
On the old banner.
How are we going to tie this into Proverbs 13:11?
You know me. I'm a Proverbs
We got to
guy.
tie this in.
I do love my Proverbs. Proverbs 13:11. I'm gonna read three versions this morning. Um, First one is the New Living Translation. It says, "Wealth from get-rich-quick schemes quickly disappears. Wealth from hard work grows over time." Proverbs, King James says, "Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathered by labor shall increase." And then I'm not sure what this last version is, but it popped up on a little study I was doing. It says, "Dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow." And I was thinking about it. I just recently started listening to the entire Profit First book. I've heard so many people rave about this Profit First book, and I started listening to it. I haven't started doing any of it. There's portions of the book where this guy's like, start doing this, start doing that. And we have separate savings accounts for our business and things like that. So some of the stuff we've kind of done. But one big takeaway that I got from it is, little bits of savings here and there, and having the key to what I've taken away from it is having a system to know the numbers of your business, because that is going to show and dictate to you how healthy your business is financially. And I'm learning this the hard way over the years. There's no magic wand that gets waved over you and you magically know how to do this. So first and foremost, for you new guys and gals, for those of you that are starting a business and you're just getting started, learn this stuff in the beginning. Learn how to read your profit and loss statements. Learn how to look at your numbers. Learn how to track. Learn how to track your KPIs, your key performance indicators. From the very beginning, when you're a one-man show, you don't have a secretary. It's just you in a van. Learn how to do these things, because I can tell you from experience, once you start to grow and once you get busy and once you start adding people, it is a complete pain in the ass to go back and try to learn these things and backtrack, and try to play catch up with your business. And if you haven't started paying yourself, that should be your number one goal. You cannot go out there and run service. When I first started my business, basically the way I did it, and I imagine this is the way a lot of people do it, I would run my work. I would have that one bank account. I would pay all my vendors. I would, my supply houses, whatever else, my insurance, anything I owed. And then whatever was left over was mine. And that's basically how I did it. So that's just a little introduction. But the main topic we want to go over is cutting costs, because every single penny spent in your business is important. Whether it's insurance, whether it's the parts you're buying. We recently switched up supply houses. We had our main two supply houses that we bought from all the time. They were local. They gave us decent pricing. We could drop the returns off, things like that. But we just recently added a new vendor supply house, and their prices just blew everybody else out of the water. I mean, it was night and day difference. Like, some of it was, $5, $6 difference, but some of it was 20, 30, 40, sometimes 50 or more dollars cheaper than what I was getting at my other supply houses. So one of my first tips to you is, if you're not shopping around for supply houses, shop around. I have accounts at all of the supply houses, or all the major ones. I would say the only one I
we've got a really good supply vendor that we just hooked up with Service Alliance Group.
I was going to leave.
And I got a feeling that's the one you're talking about.
Yeah, it is.
So, for those of you that don't know, our all access members have exclusive access to a very good program with a very good supply house that we've got hooked up. And this program is only accessible to our all access members. And this program alone will easily pay for your entire membership for the year.
Easily.
Even if it's at full price.
Yep. Yeah, I was blown away. The company we're talking about is Union Electronics Distributors. We'll just let you know who it is.
Yeah.
Alex and his team over there have been absolutely amazing. I got really, really good customer service from Cashwell's here in Richmond. JD and Teresa are amazing people. But and Alex had reached out to me a long time ago, and we had talked about it. But the amount of money we started adding it up, and the amount of money that we're saving using Union with the deal that we get through the Service Alliance Group is absolutely amazing. So if you haven't signed up for the all access, I know this is a shameless plug, and you're like, oh, you're just always trying to sell us. We are diligently working to get you guys the deals. And this deal is great. It is, as Mike said, it'll actually pay for your year membership just using this promotion. If you go over to Union and start and sign up through the all access membership, you're going to get some really good pricing. There's all the details that Alex worked out with Mike, and I can't speak to the specifics of all that, but I know it's working great for me. And the thing that I love about them is that they're a smaller, hands-on business. They're not so big that you feel like you're just an account number. Have you ever dealt with people that like that? You just feel like you're an account number to them. Alex is awesome. I haven't dealt with anybody else from the team, but he's been great. So if you're gonna sign up, let me just do this shameless plug real quick. If you're gonna sign up and you're not an all access member, all you need to do is go over to servicealliancegroup.com. We have a promo code running right now, springtime 2023. You can go over there, get the $100 off. This is going to give you $100 off the all access membership. You're going to get the SOPs. You're going to get the business documents. You're going to get the business courses. You're going to get the tech sheets. You're going to get access to our exclusive Facebook group on Facebook. And you're going to get access to the Union deal, which pays for, if you buy a decent amount of parts.
Not just the Union deal, we've got other deals in there, vendor deals. You get access to all the vendor deals.
All the vendor deals. So springtime 2023. I'm going to just leave that up for now. And it gets you $100 off, so it'll be $400 for the year. It's well worth it. We have spent a great amount of time making this website what it is, and we look forward to building it more and doing more for the community because you guys are awesome. And here's a comment about Union. UED is good on aftermarket parts. They were unable to compete on OEM with my traditional suppliers. Sounds to me, Mr. Bob, it says Robert, but I call you Bob. Sounds to me, Bob, like you might be able to get a better deal because I have an account with all the suppliers, with the exception of I think Reliable, and Union beats them on just about everything. The aftermarket stuff is we didn't even mention that, Mike, but the amount of aftermarket stuff that Union carries is amazing. I actually was out on a call yesterday. And I looked up it was a Whirlpool ice maker. I never knew this ice maker had an aftermarket product out there. And I looked it up on Union, and sure enough, the retail one was like $125, $150, something like that. And the aftermarket one was like $55. And some of you guys I know are anti-aftermarket parts. Do you, boo-boo? That's all I can say. I'm cutting costs.
Bob Winterstrom is he's an all access member, so he needs to just log in, go to our vendor deal page, and fill out the form, and he's going to get a better deal.
Yeah, Bob, I'm curious to know if you have filled out that form on the all access page. If you haven't, do it and get signed up. See if you don't get some better pricing through.
You will definitely get some better prices.
That's what we're there. That's what the.
Speaking of deals, TMM Academics.
Shout out to Brandon.
Brandon's in there. He's one of our vendors.
I wonder if Brandon popped in from my page or from the Service Alliance group.
I don't know. I haven't seen him in here.
I haven't either.
I guess he'll let us know.
We got our brother B checking in. Shout out to you. He said, "Good morning, folks. Caught the elevators of the industry live." I like that. That's awesome. Brother Dan checking in. Good to see you. So I made
Yeah,
a
we
little
didn't check
list.
in with anybody yet.
Yeah, I made a little list here of things to think about when you're cutting costs in your business. One of them that I put down that I'd really like to hear your opinion on, Mike, because I've been blabbing like a freaking schoolgirl over here, is marketing and SEO and all that stuff. If someone's cutting costs in their business, what are some things they should look at as far as the mark? Because I'm not a marketing guy. I have business cards. That's the extent of my marketing. What would you suggest? What is wasted money, and where can you cut cost in that area?
Well, if you're running Google Ads, number one, there and you're running it on your own, there could be a huge amount of wasted money going out the door right there. That's where I see most people wasting the most money with marketing efforts because they're trying to do it themselves and they're not knowing how to optimize things, and the money just goes right out the door. So, having someone who actually knows how to optimize and streamline your Google Ads campaigns is huge. So I'd say 90% of the waste in marketing is probably there. Um, if you're running SEO and you've got someone that's really good at it, then so be it. You can have a little bit of waste there if you're hiring these jip joint people that just don't know what they're doing, because you can literally just throw your money away 100% in that aspect. um in my industry, in the web design and SEO industry, I can honestly say probably 90 freaking percent of all the people in my industry that say that they know how to do SEO have no freaking clue how to do SEO. And
Yeah,
it's a massive black eye and a shame for our industry. And I see it all the time. I see people just throwing their money away, and it makes everybody like hesitant, to deal with somebody, like a good agency like mine that knows what you're doing, because there's that barrier already. But those are probably, as far as marketing, two of the biggest money wasters right there.
yeah,
Um, the thing is, just get with a vendor that knows what they're doing. And it's hard. It's hard. It's like hiring an employee. You don't know who's going to be good really until you actually hire them and start working with them.
yeah.
And that's the hard thing. So my suggestion is, just like with employees, hire slow, fire fast. Figure out what they're doing good and talk to them, and take the time to court that interview process, and that'll help you save some costs.
Absolutely. I would say, and this is more of a question, just because I don't do Google ads or any of that stuff. I imagine a big part of it, and I'm pretty sure this is something you do with your clients, is the analytics of it. Like monthly, quarterly, whatever it is, Google's going to probably send you some sort of analytics that say, "Hey, this is how things are going," and knowing how to read that and determine that and say, "Okay, these things are working, these things aren't working. Maybe we should cut back on this, push this more." Is that some of it as
But
well?
but that's also, those of you guys that are running Google Analytics. I've experienced this firsthand. Um, I every month I meet with a Google rep that's actually a Google rep that's assigned to that account, okay, that I'm working on. And maybe they handle multiple accounts that I've got in play. But I meet with them monthly, and there's recommended, suggested optimizations that are in your dashboard. And most people just go in there and say, "Oh yeah, I accept it all," and I'll just take all the recommendations that Google's given me. Well, you can't just blindly do that. I mean, even the reps, when I'm on the phone with them, they'll be like, okay, there's this recommendation, there's this one. The algorithm says that you should do this. And he'll be like, click that button and go ahead and accept it. And I'll be like, oh, hell no. There's no way I'm going to click that button. And you shouldn't tell people to do that, because the only thing that's going to do is cost me to spend more money and get less return. So you need to get with somebody who actually knows how to deal with that and knows what recommendations to actually accept and which ones not to. So that's a huge thing, and that could save you a lot of money. I mean, if you're spending $1,000 on Google Ads, you could realistically bump that down to like 600 or 500 and still get the same exact results, or still spend that $1,000 and get double the return on your investment, if it's optimized properly. So when there's wasted money, that's the kind of things you got to look at.
And that's not small money we're talking about there. You cut something from $1,000 a month down to 500. That's some serious savings you got going on. So
I mean, since you're talking about Google Ads and SEO, if you're more on an ongoing SEO campaign, that should be offsetting your Google Ads, in some way. I mean, there's going to be a tipping point where SEO doesn't fully replace Google Ads, but it should drastically lower it. It should actually cut it in half, your need for it in half, to sustain the same exact, level amount. If you're wanting to grow, then obviously you want to spend that money on Google Ads and continue to grow and continue to spend money on SEO, because you just want to keep pounding, those leads in. But, if you're wanting to just figure out how to cut costs and nothing else and stay the same, then that's an easy way to do it.
Yeah. From what you're saying, the key is to stay where they are. That knows their shit.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to stay where they are? I mean, if you're spending money on Google Ads and SEO, you're wanting those leads. I mean, you want to be successful, and you want to stay busy, right? Google reps call here all the time. Why would I hire a guy whose loyalty is to the company that charges me per click? Absolutely. Bob, you're absolutely right. And that's what I said. So, they're probably, I can't imagine that these guys are on commission, but they sell it pretty hard. They probably got some KPIs of their own that they got to hit every month, so.
Is that when I get these calls? I'm just curious if this is what that is, because I get these calls every single day. It's a recording, and it says something to the effect of, please don't hang up. Your Google my business page is not whatever, and I hang up every time.
That is not Google calling you. That's a automated recording from an agency.
Okay, yeah, because those things.
Google will never call you to talk to you about your Google business profile.
Okay, I got you.
Ever. They will email you if they want to schedule an appointment with your Google rep. I got an email yesterday from a Google rep on my own account wanting me to meet with them about my own account and set an appointment. So they will email you to set an appointment, and sometimes they will call, but usually it's an email. But they'll only call on Google Ads. They're not going to call on a free listing. That makes them absolutely no money. They're not going to put any effort into calling you to optimize that. So that is an agency calling you, and you shouldn't even fall for that. They're not going to do anything for you. Those types of people.
Absolutely. Yeah. So there's quite a bit of when it comes to cutting costs, there's quite a bit of things to consider when it comes to that. And like you said, the big thing is having somebody, if you don't have anybody, I personally, just because I know he does a good job, suggest reaching out to Mike. And Mike's the type of guy, from what I've learned from him, is he'll talk to you and see if he's a good fit for you and let you know what it's going to be. And if he fits, then great. If not, then no hard feelings. But find somebody that knows their stuff, because there's a lot, from what I've seen, there's a lot of guys and gals out there claiming to be SEO professionals and marketing professionals, and they're just not. From hearing different experiences from different people, it is one of those areas where you can really dump a lot of wasted money into something where you're not getting any good returns, and you don't even realize it till it's too late. So moving on from marketing, I had a couple more things written down, and one thing easy that I said was insurance. If you started your business a few years ago, when was the last time that you shopped around and seen if you could save some money on insurance?
I
Now,
just
number one,
this month,
did you?
$250.
There you go.
$250 a month is what I'm going to save.
Yep. I
And
switched.
that's just one company. I was like, holy crap. I'm going to shop around a few more and see if I can get more.
Yeah.
For apples to apples.
I did it about a year or so ago. And I was I think it was Progressive was my commercial auto, or one of the big ones. And I switched over to Erie, which all my insurance was with Erie other than my commercial auto. And I saved a ton of money switching over to Erie. So insurance is a big one. Another one that I thought of is your subscriptions. How many subscriptions do you have that you don't even use? I know I have a bunch.
A lot.
And we talked about
like $5,000 a year, believe it or not.
Yeah. And this bleeds in from your business also into your personal life. I have subscriptions in my personal life that I know I need to go cancel, that I pay for every month. And it might be $5, it might be $10, it might be, whatever, but it adds up. I have subscriptions to different appliance organizations that I don't use at all anymore. Mostly because I just use servicealliancegroup.com, and 99% of the time what I need as far as tech sheets and stuff is there. But I just keep letting certain subscriptions go. So I need to go in and cancel some subscriptions to some other websites that I don't use anymore. I still do enjoy going on Appliantology. I think I'll always keep my Appliantology because I enjoy going on there, and there's just a great community of people, and Scott does a great job with his webinars, and it's just a great community over there. So I think I'll always have that subscription, and it's not that expensive, so it's one of those that I'll keep. But there's other ones, I'm not going to mention them, but I never go on their website. Not that they're bad companies, they just don't really have anything to offer as far as websites go. So subscriptions is a big one. And like I said, it's not all big money stuff. Your marketing stuff might be big money, but those subscriptions add up, and it's those little things that add up. Here's another big one as we're wrapping this thing up: your parts returns and your core returns. Your warranty
inventory in general.
Yes. If you do not have procedures in place for your part returns, your core returns, your warranty, you're writing up parts under warranty, and just your inventory in general, it can be a huge waste of money. And one thing that I've learned the hard way is that if you are not reconciling your part purchases, it can be a huge waste of money. Because I've had one company, who I'm not going to name by name because I feel like they're doing a better job now. I've had one company that I used to use a lot in the past. They would charge us for stuff and it would never get shipped. It would never even show up. And we would have to go back and go through things. But now we have a system in place. We have a system where it gets brought in, it gets reconciled with the shipping label, it gets put into a file, it gets marked, it gets date gets put into the job notes. A lot of different procedures to make sure that we're getting the parts we're paying for, and we're not paying for parts twice. We're not getting overcharged for things. And those core returns, if you have a multi tech organization and you don't have a system in place for making sure your core returns get taken back, you might be losing hundreds and hundreds of dollars. We had a guy that worked for us when we first started expanding, and this guy, when we fired him, had anywhere from 15 to 20 cores in his truck. 15 to 20. Now, you guys know a core is worth $60. So this guy's riding around, and this was my fault. I'm not blaming him. It was TK in Austin's fault for not having the procedures in place. But this guy had 15 to 20. That's $900 to $1,200 worth of core returns riding around in the back of his van. Number one, I wasn't doing my van inspections like I should have, and number two, I didn't have a process in place for cores. So if you don't have those things, parts returns, parts purchases, core returns, inventory. If you go out on a call and you do not have that part that you know should be on your van, and every single one of you listening has done this. You've showed up at that call, you diagnose it quick. It's a water valve. It's a super common water valve, 285805, something like that. Y'all don't work on direct drives like I do, but some real common water valve. And you go out to your truck and you realize that that part isn't on your truck. That has just cost you money in your business. That has just cost you money where you could have had a first call complete. You could have been on down the road. Now you got to either go to the supply house and pick one up, or you have to order one and come back later. So that
how much was that part? You know,
yeah,
consider
exactly.
the cost of that part to stock it
properly.
properly.
Properly. And that's a big one, man. I will be honest with this. We still have some work to do on our inventory stuff. And I kind of leave it up to my guys more. We have processes in place, but just like any processes, if the process isn't properly followed, then you will have issues.
Yeah, you're always going to have your people issues.
Yeah,
that go along with that.
Absolutely. And a lot of it, I know we sound like broken records when we talk about SOPs and procedures, but a lot of this stuff we're talking about just boils down to having the procedures in place in your company. And the best time to start doing that is now. Whether you started your company last week or you've been doing this for 20 years, if you don't have procedures in your company, start doing it. If you're confused about where to start, reach out to us. Message me. Message Mike. I think Mike is like the master of SOPs personally. I don't mean to blow your head up, but he took my SOP game to another level. When we started building the website and he was sending me all these documents, when you go on the Service Alliance group and you see like the really good SOPs and the really good stuff, those are all Mike. Like Mike made those. I'm not going to take credit for that. But he came alongside us and showed us a lot of how to do the things. And it's been a game changer in my business. So if you're unsure, we have a course on SOPs. Mike put together a course on how to use the SOPs and how to use the template. We have a template for SOPs and writing your SOPs, and that thing's been golden for me. I actually just went over the template again with my team about a week and a half ago and showed some of my key people how to use that template. And I actually challenged two of my favorite employees or team members to start writing 2 SOPs of things they do a month. And I'm doing a follow-up on that here soon. To be honest, man.
I mean, since you're talking about SOPs, I want to interject and make a suggestion to you guys out there. So if you're looking to cut costs and you've got all these areas like parts and core returns, inventory, insurance, subscriptions, I'm reading off of our list here, recalls, your marketing stuff, Wasted time. That's a good one. You know, just having your processes in place and stuff. Maybe you should make a document that's an audit checklist of all these areas, and you should review you should audit yourself. You know, audit your van, audit your service vehicle. Number one, audit your inventory, and then audit your insurance. You know, and say I should audit my insurance policy once a year, and shop it once a year because things change drastically over a year.
Yep.
You know, my insurance, the reason I started shopping that is because it went up $250 in a matter of just a couple months, and I was like, that's ridiculous. You know, and me and my son started shopping and getting quotes, and we both found huge discounts just by switching to a very, very, very big, I mean, the biggest insurance company for auto, you know, in the world, or in the country. But I couldn't believe that going back to that company that I used to be with would save me that much. And I mean, you start auditing things, that's when you start opening your eyes. And even if you're a one-man show, you've got to audit yourself, and you've got to look at it objectively. And you know, a lot of us just get freaking lazy, let's face it. And we're like, oh, I'll take care of it later, you know, and we procrastinate, and we come up with excuses, right? Sometimes we need to audit ourselves and kick ourselves in the ass, you know, for being that way. And when you're by yourself, you don't have anyone else to do that. So who is there to stand up for it? You. And you've got to take responsibility and just, like I said, kick yourself in the butt and do it. Start treating yourself as if you're your worst employee. Start getting on your own ass. Sometimes we got to do that. You know, would you hire or fire yourself if you were working for you know, as an employee manager? I mean, kind of look at yourself objectively.
Yeah.
You know, you really need to do that. Otherwise, you don't get better. That's the only way that you're going to improve. And if you're not improving every single day, then you're stagnant and you're losing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that is a huge thing. I should probably do that more in my business, because if you don't do these things, you're just going to get complacent and allow things to build up and allow wasted money to go down. We work way too hard as small business owners, and every single one of you, unless you're making millions and millions of dollars a year, you're a small business owner. I don't care if you have 20 techs on the road. We work way too hard as small business owners to not care about these small things because they add up so quickly. What I want to do, and I think me and Mike would be good at this, I want to put together something more with this cutting costs thing. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm feeling extremely inspired by this morning's devotion, grind, whatever you want to call this. And we're going to put something together because it's a huge thing. You know, one of the things that I think every single business owner struggles with is cutting costs and running their business efficiently. And some people are really, really good at it. I am aspiring to be better at it. So as I get better, I want to help you guys get better. And I'm sure Mike's the same way. So if you have any tips on this topic, if you consider yourself the expert on this topic, reach out to us. Or if you have some things that, as you were listening, you thought of that you just want to share with us, shoot us a message, shoot us an email. Our email is info@servicealliancegroup.com. You can catch me on Messenger on Facebook. You can reach out to us. However, you know where we stay at. But reach out for sure. If you haven't signed up for the servicealliancegroup.com all access membership, we are running a $100 off promo right now, springtime 2023. It'll get you $100 off the yearly all access membership. So make sure you go over there, do that. If you're tuning in from YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff. And Mike, you got any closing thoughts or closing words?
I'm just thinking, get out there, get to it, and get those processes down.
Yeah, do something. If nothing else, do something today. Hopefully you're starting to make that daily to-do list. If you've already made it for the day, great. If you haven't, put at the top of your daily to-do list today, insurance quotes. Start there. Start with insurance quotes. It shouldn't be that hard. Take an hour and get some insurance quotes. It might save you $250, like Mike said. It might save you more than that.
That's low-hanging fruit.
Low-hanging fruit.
Those two things are super low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, you could save $500 to $1,000 today if you just spend some time. But by the end of the week, you could save even more than that. And if you haven't signed up for the union electronics deal through servicealliancegroup.com, make sure you go over there and check that out. We want to get our all access members the absolute best pricing and best service that they can possibly get. Shout out to Alex Hearn and the rest of the union crew. We should bring him on a podcast or something sometime so everybody can meet him. He's a real nice guy.
He emailed me yesterday. I'll email him back today and ask him.
Yeah, see if he's interested. So shout out to him. Shout out to the rest of the Service Alliance community. Shout out to all the Appliance Guy Picker people that tuned in. If any of you tuned in, I think Brother B might have been the only one. But we appreciate you guys, and we will catch y'all next time. Peace.